think I'm live. First time on Facebook. But there's no one here. So I've tried Instagram Live, I've tried YouTube Live, but they both kind of suck. And I think live is the future because it's no bullshit, unedited. And yet there's still no one here. One person! Yeah, I've had a long day. I thought I'd try out the Facebook Live feature. I've never used it. You can ask me anything right now, but only in English, as usual. 14 people watching. Write something. Don't be afraid. Guys, I'm not gonna just talk. You gotta ask me something. It's my first time doing this live on Facebook. If it's good, I'll do it more often. But so far, I don't see any comments. What's up, guys? When I do this on Instagram, I get bombarded with comments. Are they hidden? No. Oh, there we go. Jeez. Finally. Oh, Codewise unicorn jerseys? Well, we just produced like 100 of them for our employees, so next... Actually, I don't know. My brother's actually running the Codewise unicorns. I have no idea. YouTube sucks, man. YouTube doesn't save the comments, so live is kind of out of context. I think if someone watches this later, they see all of your comments, so it's much easier to see what I'm, talking about. How about my trip to the US? Yeah, man, that's why I'm here so late every day. I gotta take care of a lot of shit. Leaving in 3 weeks to LA. What? Polish great. Thank you. You guys on Facebook are much more quiet. YouTube and Instagram, I was like, whoa, slow down. I have no agenda. I just clicked live and here I am. Is it possible? Probably not, man. The reason we're going to the US is because we want to hire really experienced people from advertising. Really difficult to get them to come to Krakow, so I'll be back, 2-3 times a year to Krakow, to Poland, see my family. The headquarters will always be here. I'm sitting in my office now in Codewise. It'll always be in Krakow. We're actually just finishing the first floor. Let me turn this down. We're finishing the first floor in our office building. New gym. We're gonna have pole dancing, MMA. It's gonna be amazing. Unicorns! Unicorns in LA, yeah. Maybe we'll have to get a US team as well. I don't know. I think so, yes. If I find a videographer, I'm gonna start vlogging again in LA. I think it'll be nice. Nice on the beach. And I'll have a little bit more time, a little bit more headspace. No, man, I'm not renting my home. It's gonna be waiting, just like my car. Hey, Caro, I appreciate it, but I don't have time, I don't even have time to see my family, let alone go to universities to talk. But I really appreciate the invite. Marcin, you know what? That's a good question, but I don't think I have made it. I don't think I've even really started. My career is just beginning, really. It's only been 6 years, man. Like, it's hard to believe for me today. Am I taking people with you? Yes. 3 of us are going from Codewise to expand into the US. Piotrek, that's always flattering But it's harder to get into here than it is into Harvard, so I wish you luck. I don't take care of recruitment anymore. Adrian, yes, it is a great decision. No, like I just said, there's 3 of us going, including me. 170 people stay here, but we plan to grow the office. We'll see what happens. What kind of advice would I give to a young person? 3 most important things. Don't be afraid to be yourself. Don't let other people tell you what to do. And just, really try to get to know who you are and not, what you think other people think you are, who you are. It's really it's all about getting to know yourself. Damian, MCT addict, man. Yeah, how many portions did you take today? I took, I think, 6. 2 right before my gym workout. It was incredible. New vlog, I promise. Something will come out of LA this year, so. Mihao, in a few words, sure. We do performance advertising, so when companies want to promote their product or service, these days you don't just spend blind money like on TV and radio. On the internet you can measure every single thing. And we specialize at understanding what performs for a given company, what converts, what sells. That's what we're all about. And big data, huge numbers. And that's what we do. It's high-tech, really high-tech shit. I think this live saves itself, so I'll leave it up. Yeah, Facebook Live is the best, I think. It's much easier to handle than Instagram and YouTube. Don't be shy, ask me something. It's 9 o'clock. My fish are already asleep. Every time that light turns off, it's like a signal for me that I should probably go home. Yeah, Damian, 2 portions is good to start, but I've been taking it for half a year now. Sometimes I do 12 a day. Sometimes I don't eat anything, just MCT. What do I think about Polish programmers? Easy. They're the best in the fucking world. I don't know if I can swear here. The best, absolutely the best in the world. My feeling after MCT, it's just heightened energy and much clearer focus. And it's amazing before gym. Sometimes if I don't eat, I'll just take 2 scoops of MCT before gym, and oh my gosh, it's like unbelievable. I appreciate your messages, guys, but I get so many of them, I don't have time to answer all of them. Thank you, Carol. Yeah, 12, man. It's I think it's 60 calories per scoop, so that's like 720 calories. Show us your watch. There you go. Yeah, MCT is great for breakfast in the morning. Keeps you going. Thanks, Mihao. I'm just a regular dude. I think it's like, it ties in with the question before. Like, I just feel I've learned who I am, and I don't feel the need to pretend to be some machismo son of a bitch. CEO, prezes, pan prezes. Like, life is so much easier when you just chill out. Wait, I missed the question. Do you think that music stimulates you at work? I do, man. I sit here, I like to stay late because I can turn it up and just like narrow in my focus. Sometimes I like without music, but Pablo, thank you. Could you recommend a book that really inspired you? All of Tim Ferriss's books, man. Like 4-Hour Workweek I read 6 years ago, and The Tools of the Titans is a gold mine. I need to look through my notes again, because that book is just money. What did I score on my IB? Dude, I barely passed IB. I was a terrible student. I got 28 points My mom had to call the university and beg them to let me in because I didn't have enough points to get in anywhere. I was terrible at university. I was just never a good student. I don't take any supplements. Actually, I take this. These are the best omegas in the world. I don't know if you can see it. Nordic Naturals. Amazing. I've been taking them for 2 years. My memory's improved. Do I have... Yeah, it's AP Royal Oak. Sorry, I'm scrolling through the comments now. What's up, Carolina? Business magazines I recommend. I don't read any, man. I think media is trash. I think media pollutes your mind, especially in Poland. I consider them to be anti-inspirational, especially when you experience what they write about you. And, you know, it's pretty messed up. I think they have a responsibility to inspire people, and they choose to just shock and mess, just like write, you know, hysterical stuff like, I be. What was the name of that medicine? It's not medicine, it's just omegas. It has a really high EPA and DHA content. It's the most important thing. I take this every day for the past 2 years. I've actually never shared that. What's up, Katarzyna? Yeah. I think I'll be doing more lives on Facebook. This is so much more chill than an Instagram where it's just like, brah! I have a meeting with an investor on Friday for my gaming company. Any tips on getting them to part with their money? Yes, I do have a tip. You know, as investors, they invest in people first. So your personality, your charisma, the way you present yourself is really important. I think the product is secondary because the product will probably change once they invest, but they're looking for people who execute, who can, you know, sort of prove that they're doers and not talkers. So that would be my advice. Guys, if you want me to answer questions, because not everybody here speaks Polish. They have to be in English. I will answer only English questions. How do I deal with bad days? I don't know, man. Maybe it's because I was depressed as a teenager and in my early 20s, it's really easy for me. And then I was an insomniac for 2 years. I didn't sleep almost at all. So bad days are just like good days, and then I have great days. I don't know. Like I just kind of changed my mindset to just kind of ignore it. And then throughout the day, a bad day just becomes a good day. Houston, I would love to, but I am leaving to Santa Monica. So, I'll be vlogging there though, so... How do I deal with anxiety and insomnia? Insomnia, that's a tough one, man, but... You know what helps me with insomnia? When I'm laying in bed and I can't sleep, I think to myself, you son of a bitch, you have a roof, you have a comfortable bed, and you can't sleep. Think of people like in World War I who are stuck in trenches, wet, frozen, trench foot, illness, rats, you know, snow and all that, and they were sleeping. So like, I kind of like, you have to get out of your head with insomnia, because that's what insomnia is. You get into your head so much about sleep, you put it on a pedestal. So you kind of let it go, because if you ask anyone who sleeps well, what is their secret? They'll say nothing. I do absolutely nothing. So insomnia is a tricky thing. What motivates you? I don't know. Like, just not being lazy. Like, conquering myself and not letting me be in my default lazy state. I hate when I, like, let, you know, the warmth of my bed. I'm like, fuck that. Let's get up and do something. Like, it's just always choosing the more difficult option. I think that's what gets me going. Some people call it masochism. I call it success, because that's what every successful person has to do. Contract signed. What do you mean contract? I have an army of lawyers taking care of that. I just arrive and do shit. I'm at a point in my career where I don't really have to do much. say, we're doing this, and it just gets done. How often do I read books? I try every day. What kind of books? Typically non-business. I'm reading a book about mycology right now, about mushrooms, because I think there's a lot of interesting future startups that are going to be in fungi. So I'm learning about that. I'm a passionate, I have mycophilia, I'm a grzybiarz. So I want to learn more about that. What do I think about the film American Psycho? It's only my favorite film of all time. It is just being my favorite cake. I don't eat sugar. Zero sugar. How long are you going to live in the US? I don't know. Maybe forever. Probably not. I want to live in different places all over the world. But I don't know if I'll live in Poland again. People who can sleep are just innocent. Yeah, there's probably something to that. They have nothing on their mind. Scrolling through. What is the most unpredictable factor you had? Unpredictable. It's a good one. It's a tough one. I guess kind of realizing when the company goes from 50 to 100 people that it totally changes. The dynamic changes. You have to let go of control. It becomes a entity of its own, like a living being almost, and you kind of have to step back. So it's kind of like letting your child leave home, I guess. Do I meditate? I try, man. I try. Not very good. I'm just but I really try. I would like to go on some sort of meditate, like a retreat for meditation. MCT, I take it 3 times a day times 2 or more, sometimes 8. DMT, oh man, yeah, I've done ayahuasca. Best thing I've done in my life. That's a good recommendation. What are the future plans of Codewise? Most of our revenues are from the US. I think the Polish media kind of represented us. We do zero. What is that? That's okay. Zero business in Poland. All of our revenues, well, sorry, not all. Most of our revenues come in from the US, but we have our Polish costs, and it becomes it creates this really profitable formula. So moving to the US is a really strategic thing. We can meet our big partners, our big clients face to face, because that's what it's all about in business. You can write all the emails you want, but one meeting face to face can change the future of your company. So that's what we're going there to LA for, is to meet with people and just get shit done on the next level. How did you start your own business? I registered a sole proprietorship, a działalność gospodarcza, and I just started doing something, man. I had no idea what I was doing. This was still 6 years ago. No idea. But it's just about doing and learning. Otherwise, you're always thinking, waiting for the right moment, but it'll never come. Never. I waited for 12 years to start my business, and I wanted to badly for so long. Piotr, yes, I am moving to the US, to LA. Carolina, thank you. Woo! Thank you. What do you think about the Polish YouTube scene? I don't watch YouTube, to be honest. I only watch Jan Olsen's vlogs occasionally. I don't know, I don't consume too much social media. It may look like I use it a lot, but I don't. I try to limit my time. I spend maybe 15, 20 minutes on social media a day. Mushinyanka, yeah! Magnesium, important. What are my tips for personal development? Get out of your comfort zone and do it every day. Wake up tomorrow and do something you typically would never do. Go speak to someone on the bus stop. Just doing things like that every day progresses you beyond your imagination. I think it's about getting out of your your patterns and your routines and doing something completely different. Try even going to work a different way, taking a longer walk, something like that, just to stimulate yourself. And that's what you got to do every day. What's the music I'm listening to? It's my Spotify Ibiza Chill Minimal playlist. I love electronic music. Damian, of course I heard of Tim Ferriss. I love Tim Ferriss. I'd love to meet him. Him and Joe Rogan. No phone, no books, no TV. Man, yes, digital detox. I was just in Scotland like a week ago for 4 days. 3 of the days I was hiking in the wet, hardcore highlands with zero cell phone reception, and it's the most incredible thing for your mind when you're not bombarded with information and it's just quiet and you're just walking and you're just kind of like meditating, slow, sort of thinking. Digital detox, I wish I could do a month with no internet, no phone, no nothing. I probably will. How do I invest my personal money? I don't actually. I invest everything back into Codewise. Have I ever talked with the Polish president? No, and I'm not really interested, to be honest. Polish politics, not my thing. Podcast. I don't know. You think people want to come on my podcast? Sorry, I was trying to fix my chair. Come on my... I'd love to do a podcast. I love Joe Rogan's podcast. It's my dream to meet that guy. I think he's a role model for me, so maybe in the future. I don't think I'm well known enough right now for anyone to care too much. Tomek, thank you. First day, I think it's around November 17th in the US. The vlog I'll see, man. You know, priorities change. Vlogging is a lot of work. I challenge any one of you guys to try and vlog. It's so much work. How long do I speak English? How old am I? 31 years. I was born in the UK, and I was lucky enough to be raised bilingual. My favorite movie, American Psycho, and Demolition Man, actually, with Sylvester Stallone. What is the structure in my company? We try to keep it flat. It's a good question. We try to keep it flat, but right now we're 170 people, and that sort of flat, autonomous sort of organizational structure doesn't scale so much. So we've had to kind of define things recently. What methods do you use for developing products? Just like minimum viable products. Get them to market, get feedback, loop that around. That's it. Where did I learn the skills to require? Dude, I didn't. I got the skills while building Codewise. I had no skills before I started. That's the thing. Like, you can't read books and listen to people talk like me, and then all of a sudden you're ready to start your own business. No, you have to start it, and that's the only point at which you start learning is when you start doing. That's the key to life, man. MCT with coffee, yeah, I do with coffee. Sometimes just with warm water, with a little bit of coffee if it's later in the day. Do I date different girls at the same time? No, man, my dating life in Poland sucks. I don't know. I think I scare the girls here in Krakow. Maybe I hope it'll be better in LA. I think it will be. Krzysztof, we gotta keep it in English because not everybody speaks Polish. Piotr, thank you, man. Like, Jan Olsen lives off of YouTube. I mean, he must make a lot of money off the sponsorship deals. I don't know if that's the direction I want to go in. Documenting your life, it's fun at times, but sometimes it becomes like really just a job. And that's one of the reasons I stopped recently. But I want to get back into it. I think my problem is I need to have maybe two people, like a vlogger and a videographer, and then the guy who cuts it up and posts it onto YouTube, and then I don't have to do anything. Is there a more important thing in business than getting out of your comfort zone? No, man. Every single day I get out of my comfort zone. Because if I didn't, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you right now. I'd be working for someone comfortably. I'd probably have a wife, kids, a house. My life would be done. I didn't want that. I wanted to try to live an extraordinary life. It took a lot of time to get out of my shell. I was an introvert. My dad called me a dzikus, like a wildling. I was scared to speak to people, now I'm doing live, and it's crazy how far you can go if you become really mindful of your weaknesses. I think that's a really important thing, is to become very mindful of your weaknesses and things that hold you back. What is my favorite sport? Skiing. Skiing by far. Off-piste skiing, heli skiing. I hope to do a lot more of that in the US, in Vail, maybe in Alaska, in Canada. Really, really look forward to it. Machush, yeah, podcast, maybe. My favorite series is Narcos. Narcos, man. I think I'm going to watch it all over again. Damian, yes. We almost have 200 people here. I'm not moving everybody to the U.S. The headquarters will always be in Poland, and we're just opening up a U.S. presence now. Codewise, so Codewise wasn't originally my company. I was actually a client of Codewise, and I ended up taking over Codewise with time. And the name, Coding Wisely, I don't know. They made it up, not me. It feels kind of like an adopted child. What about your rich parents when you start a business? Dude, my dad's not that rich. My dad was a corporate guy. He, it helps to have wealthy parents. Like, you kind of maybe get that feeling in your head that you have something to fall back on. But it's not about that, man. Like, I think I would have done the same whether or not, I had the backup. My parents actually discouraged me from starting my business. That was the main driving factor. I was like, I will show you. My dad's like, you need 10, 20 years of experience at a corporation. I'm like, fuck that. I am never working at a corporation. I will show you. And I did. That was one of my main driving factors, like chip on the shoulder. How are you planning to manage 2 offices? Monika, we have 3 offices. We have London, Krakow, and LA. It's not as difficult as it seems. You just need to hire the right people. Mateusz, what do I think about a place for an IT company? I don't know, man. Like, I miss Warsaw. I'm from Warsaw, from Warszawa. I think Krakow is maybe less competitive. The salaries are a bit lower, so I think maybe Krakow is better. Am I taking my GTS to the US? No, but I am getting a nice car there. I'm thinking of a McLaren, but I don't know yet. I think Lamborghinis are everywhere there, so. Oscar, getting out of your comfort zone is very easy. For example, walk up to that girl on the street and just start talking to her, man. Like, just things like that we would never do, that you usually overthink when you, take a moment. Should I do it? And then you think of 1,000 reasons not to do things. It's the same in business. You just sometimes have to act on your gut and just do shit. Tomek, I don't play any console games. I don't play many games. We had a LAN party last Friday. That was a lot of fun. We played Counter-Strike. I love real-time strategy games, but nobody wants to play with me. My routine in the morning is the cold shower, man. Every single day, and every single day I don't want to do it. I start my day off by putting myself in that uncomfortable, cold water, and it just reminds me that is what you have to do, just to move forward every day in your life, is put yourself in uncomfortable situations. What's my advice for someone who would like to break free from the corporate world? Just do it, man. Just quit. You might think in your head, no, I can't quit this job. But, dude, there's always excuses not to do something. And sometimes you just gotta do it and then, figure it out after. But a lot of people tragically get stuck in jobs they hate for their whole life. And it kind of blows my mind. Well, I play CSGO on Fridays in LA office. Well, we play at 4 p.m., which is... What time is that? Oh my god, that's early. That's like 7 a.m. in the US. I'll try, but I don't think so, though. Maybe we'll have a US server as well. Have you ever had a situation like that somebody comes to you in the USA and asks you for an autograph? Not for an autograph, but for selfies, usually. At conferences, sometimes. I'm not very well known in the US, to be honest. It's mainly at sort of industry events for my company. Nah, dude, no, I don't play games before sleep. It gets me too crazy. Alright, there's a backlog of questions. Bobby Boucher! Yeah, man, I can't wait. I'm gonna like your comment. Oh, wait, how do I do that? Oh, I pinned it. Yes, man. Well, not boarding, I'm a skier. Boarding's for suckers. How do you know when you have found the right people? I don't know, man. It's like I That's actually a very good question. I think you typically can feel, you're not always right, but you can typically feel after, say, 10 minutes of speaking to someone if their character resonates with you. Like typically in an interview, I already made my decision in the first 5 minutes. So I don't know, you just kind of develop that gut feeling for people. How do you know, like, when you like a girl? It's kind of the same thing. You just fucking feel it. Oh, I said that bomb. Sorry. I wonder if that gets censored. I actually swear quite a lot on a daily basis, but try not to on the internet. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Alright, let's see what's going on here. What music are you listening to now? It's my Spotify playlist. Łukasz, how long do I want to stay in LA? I'm just starting with 6 months because I don't want to become a US tax resident for obvious reasons, and then I'll see. Maybe I'll live there for good. Who knows? I'm excited about it. Why did I get an invitation to the Buckingham Palace? It's because the chancellor of my university, University of Surrey, is the Duke of Kent, and for their 50th anniversary, they invited me as one of the few students to come and attend their 50th anniversary. It was an incredible event. Alright, let's see what's going on. Bartosz Robert, I feel the same. You have to quit something that does not make you happy and confident in your life. Absolutely, man. Relationships, shitty jobs, you just quit that. Get that out of your life. Life is too goddamn short. Change, man. Change is good. The points in your life when you're confused and stressed, those are typically the moments before great new things happening in your life. Like, stress is it's actually a good thing. It means you're uncomfortable and you're doing something right. If you're just like laid back and kind of like, it means shit's broken. I'm not going to get into our products right now. I've been in the office for 13 hours. I don't want to explain. Volume, check out our website, man. It's all up there. There's a demo. You can click it and stuff, and you can see exactly how it works. Bobby, don't ask me industry questions. But I'll tell you quickly. I would change fraud. I would change compliance. I would crack down on people who abuse, who just kind of like do malicious stuff. I'm tired of that. I think it's detrimental to everybody in the industry, and I hope it changes soon, and I think it will change soon. Codewise, in one sentence, it's a performance marketing company. What do you do when things in business go really bad? I keep a straight face because as the owner, as a CEO, I think one of my roles is always keeping people feeling safe and secure even when things are going. So, I've been through a lot, and I know when things go bad that you cannot emotionally let it get to you. You just got to take action and kind of try to revert that. What advice can you give to two young entrepreneurs based in Poland? Karol, just get your company registered, find an idea that you're remotely passionate about, and just start doing, because your first business will probably fail, but you'll learn the most. You'll learn the most on your first try. And then the second time, the third time, that's when your head is like, yes, I know what I'm doing. And that's the key, because otherwise you'll be waiting forever for some sort of eureka moment, but that never comes. So just do shit. Łukasz, we didn't apply for the Deloitte thing. We got that award 3 times. There's really no need for that for us anymore. We're too big. We would have been on the Big 5 list. I don't know what the growth is right now. It's obviously slowed down because it's 5-year periods that move forward. Do I feel stress at work? A lot, Dorota. But I'm kind of used to it. What do I think about studies? Experience is greater than theory. Absolutely, man. Theory is trash. Theory gets put upside down as soon as you start gaining experience. You're like, what the hell was I even learning? I remember I had to study accounting in university, and I sucked at it. I was like, shit, I think I have to know accounting to run a business. And you know what? Till today, I don't even know what a balance sheet is. I don't have to. Nobody told me that if you have a company, first thing you do is you hire a good accountant, because you don't want to deal with that shit. So, experience is everything, man. Learning how to delegate, learning how to work with people, that's what it's all about, and that's what you cannot learn at university. Who is my favorite Polish businessman? I don't have one, man. I don't know. I don't know. There's no one really inspirational for me in Poland, sadly. I don't mean that to offend anyone, but I don't know. I think all the people on the Forbes list made their money during the privatization era when Poland went from communism to free market. Why did you decide to move your business? I'm not moving my business, man. I'm just moving myself to LA. I'm kind of tired, I've been here for 6 years. I need some change, and it makes a lot of strategic sense for our business to have a U.S. presence, so. Mateusz, congrats on being a business owner. Good luck, keep at it. It's not easy. You'll have days when you want to quit. Man, I wanted to quit so many times when I started. Don't let that get to you. Don't let other people put you down. Don't listen to the haters, and just keep moving forward. Good luck. What's my main goal for the next year? To try to find a girlfriend, man. I've been single for a while now. I get kind of lonely, you work, and then you get home, you're like, no one to spend that time with. So I'm gonna try to find a girlfriend in LA that I can go surfing with, walking down the beach, all that nice stuff. How many hours of sleep do you need? After being an insomniac for 2 years, I actually don't need sleep. I don't feel great, but I need maybe 2-3 hours to function pretty well. What time do I get up every day? I don't use an alarm clock, but typically like 7, something like that. What is my favorite Polish movie? Mish! I love Mish. What's my Spotify? It's Lord Gryn. LORDGRYN. First business, yes, with a partner. If you can find a business partner, always go in with someone else. It just makes it easier, especially if they have a different skill set. If you guys like working together, you create like a whole different level of expertise than if you're on your own. To sum up my speech, what speech? You mean me just talking now? A head full of fears has no space for dreams. This is true, man. Fears are imaginary. I have a fear that I'm trying to get rid of, irrational fear of sharks. I've swam in Hawaii with tiger sharks and stuff. Like, I really put myself in an uncomfortable position where I thought I was gonna die. So, and it's getting better. Bobby, what's my favorite body part to work out? I'll tell you this, it's not my legs. I think it's my core, my abs, because I feel amazing after that. And you can really kind of like destroy them. I had a super tough workout today. It was a 30-minute circuit training with no breaks. 10 reps, 20 reps, 30 reps, 40, up to 100. Oh man, incredible. Why did I choose my AMG in the yellow color? It's solar beam yellow, bro. I had that car on my desktop, on my pulpit, on my computer for a year in that color and that exact spec. And one day I said, you know what? I'm gonna give my mom back her BMW. I'm gonna buy myself my first car. And I found that car actually available to buy right away, and I just got it. I love the color. I think it's incredible. Why do you not want to support Polish startups? It's not that I don't want to support, it's just I don't have time. You know, I think an entrepreneur's currency is his or her focus and attention. And if you do too many things at once, you spread that too thin and everything suffers. So I have so much to do at CodeWise right now that I just don't have time, man. Who's my idol? Neil deGrasse Tyson and Joe Rogan and Tim Ferriss. I'd like to meet those three at dinner. Oh, that would be my dream. That would be my absolute dream. What sort of skills and characteristics are you looking for in potential employees? Excellent question. Number one is autonomy, because we have an organization that's very very flat. Nobody tells you what to do on a daily basis. You have to figure out what the problems are that need to be solved to move towards the company's sort of mission. So autonomy is number one. For programmers, it's very different. I'm not a programmer. I was the worst programmer at university. I was so bad, I had to hire a programmer to do my homework, and that's when I kind of learned how to delegate, very early days of learning to delegate. So for programmers, it's a very different thing, but for like account management support type of roles, it's autonomy, and it's just like this, just doers, not talkers. And I think you can really feel that in the interview very quickly. How would you delegate on a relatively small team? Man, if you're having a hard time, I don't know, maybe the people aren't the right people. It's also not easy in the beginning. I kept so many tasks to myself. I was ordering office supplies for 2 years because I didn't know how to delegate that to someone, or I was afraid rather. So you got to trust them. They'll make mistakes in the beginning. Obviously, they'll not be as good as you, but with time, they'll make mistakes. They'll learn, and with time, they'll be better than you were at that task, earlier. So delegations, it's about trust. In the first place, it's about hiring the right people, but it's about trusting them, and that's what you got to do. Do I have a mentor? No. I would like one. I'm going to look for one in LA. Sometimes I feel lost too, But yeah, I would like a mentor. That'd be cool. KJ, great knowledge. Hey, for free, of course, man. Thank you. Do you struggle with imposter syndrome? Oh my God, Bartek, that's a crazy question, because I have hardcore imposter syndrome. For those of you that don't know what imposter syndrome is, it's a pretty common thing with entrepreneurs and just like high performance people in general, where they cannot internalize their own success. Like I come to this office every day. I don't feel like the owner. I feel like someone who just works here, and I think it's a good and bad thing. But I think it's mainly good because it keeps you kind of humble. You don't have you don't have insecurity about stuff like where you have to prove stuff to people. But I have it all the time, Bartek. Imposter syndrome. I think I want to go to a psychologist in the U.S. who specializes in that. What is the name of the chair? His name is George. It's a Vitra chair. I don't know the model. I'm not taking any nootropics. I took those for anxiety only, like a year ago. My AP, it's good, but it's banged up a little bit. It's my everyday watch. I go hiking with it. Maybe I shouldn't, but I do. But I love it. I absolutely love it. Severin, I should do lives regularly. Yeah, useful stuff. Oh, that's good. I think Facebook's a good channel to do this on because it's much easier for me to read the comments. I can scroll, and it saves with the comments. Because on YouTube, you do a live, and the people watching later, they don't see any of the comments, so they just see me talking. It's really out of context. And Instagram doesn't let me save my live, so that's weird. But I'll try to do it more regularly. Maybe I'll schedule a time. Have I ever been in Africa, Carolina? Yes, I have. I've been to Egypt, as a lot of people have, but I've been to Madagascar, and that was incredible. Traveled all over Madagascar. What is my dream thing to do when I retire as an active entrepreneur? Wait, if I do thumbs up, I think that gets pinned, so you know what I'm answering. My dream thing. I don't think an entrepreneur ever retires, but I want to get into renewable energy, sustainable sort of food production. I'm really into fish farming, but figuring out how to do that sustainably. So that's something that I'd like to do. Something completely different, not internet related. So other than that, probably buy a nice island and just kind of chill there and invite all my friends just to come around and just traveling and exploring and learning still. And I don't know, man. I don't think about that too often. Do I drink coffee? Yes, I drink it, but only with MCT. This live will be saved on Facebook. I believe so, yes. If Facebook allows me to save it. Pavel! My favorite MMA fighter is Joanna Jędrzejczyk. She's a monster. She's such an inspiration to me. She works harder than probably anyone else. Probably harder than Conor McGregor. She's got incredible style. I think she's going to be a lot ahead of her. Try to go on Tim Ferriss's podcast. You think he'll want me? Man, I'd be flattered. I'd go right away. Maybe when I'm in the U.S. somehow I'll cross paths with him. I would love that. That would be an honor. Let's see what else is here. Bobby, how do you think your upbringing helped you become who you are today? Are you more of your dad or mom or combo? That's a good question. You know, I think I was really lucky because my parents were forward-thinking enough to kind of raise me in an international background. So, I mean, that changed everything. Being exposed to so many cultures. When I went to elementary school, there was I think there was 60 different countries being represented by the students there. So from a very young age, being exposed to people from all over the world, it just completely changes your mind for the rest of your life. You're more tolerant, you're more open, you think differently. So that's definitely something I would like to do for my kids, is raise them in an international background. And I'm more of my dad, unfortunately. Unfortunately, I mean in the playful sense, because we have the same sort of weaknesses and sweet tooth. Daniel, how do I control my employees? I don't, man. You know, I think the number one thing that people want at the workplace is autonomy, is for someone to trust them and to say, listen, I think you're good enough to do this job without me telling you how to, because that's what human nature is utilizing your own creativity to solve problems in your own way. If they slob around, man, that's their choice, but it's noticeable, and I think I've never had to tell anyone to get back to work. Some people go to the gym, they play pool, but you know, I think the times have changed where management 1.0 went to 2.0, and now we're in management 3.0, where it's creative output. It's not the number of hours. It's not 9 to 5 that counts. You can do better work in 1 hour sometimes than in a week in the modern sort of world, in the age of the internet. So I have a different perspective. I just trust people, and when they feel kind of responsible, when you give them that freedom, they don't abuse it. So it's an interesting thing. Scrolling down. How have I told you? You're asking me again. You want to język? Nikolai, no, I'm not allowed to feed my fish. We have guys who take care of them full time. It's a very complex thing to upkeep a tropical aquarium, so I'm not allowed to feed them. Katspera, Katspera's asking, what car will I be driving in LA? I'm thinking a McLaren, something completely different. I'll see though. I'm gonna probably be biking and skateboarding a lot. Maybe I don't need a car. Booster board, yeah. Who's gonna sit in my office? I'm actually thinking of creating some sort of chill out lounge here so people can come here and look at the fish and just chill out here. I don't want it to just be wasted and empty when I'm gone. So I will probably just keep it open. Oh, Martina, yeah, it sounds kind of Arabic, the music. Okay, scrolling. Where do you find people who push you up when in the beginning you don't have anyone? I'm not sure if I understand that question, but I think it's important. You know, in the beginning it was my business partner. He was my anchor sort of in my professional life. I don't imagine doing what I've done alone in the beginning, so a business partner definitely. A supportive girlfriend probably could help. I don't know. It's a tricky thing having a girlfriend and being an entrepreneur. It's difficult. Let's see. Sorry, I'm scrolling through the questions. I think there's a backlog. Mihao, how and when did you get the idea for CodeWise? I didn't. I was their customer, and we completely pivoted many times. Like in the beginning, we were doing something totally different, group buying, Groupon type of crap, and then we moved to, when you start, that's why I always tell people you gotta just start building and doing, because when you start doing that, that's when you really understand what it is that you wanted to do in the first place. Your idea, what you think other people want, typically is not what they want. And then you build it, you deliver it, you get their feedback, they're like, this isn't that great. And then you work on that feedback and just create this like loop of everlasting evolution. Like you're just always adapting to customer feedback. That's what business is essentially, at least for successful businesses. Martina, yeah, I'm drinking Mushinyanka. I gotta stay hydrated. I drink a lot of water. What do I think about Bitcoins? Man, I don't know. Blockchain technology is incredible, but Bitcoins, I think it's a bit of a bubble. Like, it's hyped up by the media. It's showing every single characteristic of a bubble, so I'd be careful. I'm not putting any money there. Cesare, I don't know, man. I've I've visited LA 5 times, and it's the only place in the world where I was like, damn, I could live here. So I'm really excited about that, but we'll see. At least half a year. Do you think about starting new business and opening other companies? Sometimes yes, Suran, sometimes I just want to do something completely different, like something not internet based. Maybe something just something more social, just not even for profit. Oh my god, my Mushinyanka splooshed on my glasses. Hold on a second. There we go. Hey, Oscar. You heard it 3 times now. No problem, man. My old apartment is not a giveaway, man. I put a lot of love into that place. It took me 1.5 years to build it. So, I'm not renting it out. I'm not selling it. It's going to wait for me when I come back and visit Krakow. What books do you recommend to read? Daniel, let me show you one. Da-da! Like, I know it seems like a joke title. How to Get Rich by Felix Dennis. Rest in peace, Felix. He's one of my favorite entrepreneurs of all time. It's just, he put this title on person to mislead you. It's a book about, actually, if I was to summarize this book, it's about discouraging you from even trying to be rich, because it just tells you how difficult it is. And I learned so much. I read this book twice before I even started a business, and only later did I realize how much I actually applied later. It was really kind of mind-blowing to make that realization for me. So I really recommend it. Come to Greece and give some advice to Greek ministers. Man, I think we could use some advice in Poland ourselves. Our political situation is not looking very good. In fact, it's terrible. Why do you think... ayahuasca question. I'm going to thumb that. Why do you think that ayahuasca was one of your most important factors last time? One of the first rules about ayahuasca is not to talk about your experience, because it's impossible to put it into words. It's just impossible. When you try, you kind of morph your actual experience. So just do it, man. Like, I'm going to do it again in LA, because I know they do it there a lot. Like, entrepreneurs in Silicon Valley, they do the ayahuasca to reset. I think of my brain as like a hard drive. And you know how sometimes your computer, after 2-3 years, it starts running really slow and you need to format it? Your brain is the same way. And I think ayahuasca is just a format C type of option, and it's absolutely incredible. You need to do it every half year, I think, for it to kind of maintain. Let's see what's going on. Yakub, what should a guy do to work with me? Man, you gotta, pass our recruitment, but it's a gauntlet. It's difficult. It's really difficult to get into CodeWise. We were very peculiar about who we hire. Pavel, do I know IRC? Some sort of chat thing. I used it when I was like a teenager to chat with my girlfriends from school, I think. Adam, yes. Development the HQ will always be in Krakow. We're actually expanding our office, so we're finishing the first floor. We'll be ready in January. We'll have a bigger gym, and we'll have 100 new places. So 300 people will fit in our Krakow HQ. Is there any quality that you really appreciated in people and incorporated yourself? You know, that's a good question. I've always been an introvert, as I've already mentioned. I've mentioned this many times, and I think it's worth mentioning because I think 50% of people are introverts, 50% are extroverts, approximately. And I always admired people who didn't struggle in social situations, so I tried to mimic it. I tried to, like, fake it, and I made it. Like, I faked it till I made it. And these days, it's much easier. It's still difficult. Like, sometimes I get really anxious, and there's a lot of people, but it's easier, and it's about, I think everybody can grow out of these sort of weaknesses, so. How much do you spend monthly, but only on yourself, not the company? Dude, I don't know. I don't spend that much, truly. On travels, usually. I like to fly, comfortably, so plane tickets can be expensive, but I don't spend that much. I don't feel the need to buy material things. It's kind of an interesting thing, though. When you can afford pretty much everything in the world, all those things kind of lose sense. You all of a sudden stop wanting them like you once did. All the cars and stuff, they just become things, and you start to appreciate different things in life. And that's a really interesting point in your life. It was really confusing at first because all my life I was like, oh, I need enough money to buy this and that. And then I have it, and then you're like, wait, the exciting part was not being able to afford it and trying to figure out how to acquire the funds to buy it. So it's a really interesting thing, and I wish everybody to experience that kind of revelation, that life is about more than dumb shit you don't really need, that marketing people convince you that you need for some reason. It's a free market economy. It's one of the flaws. What is my favorite place in LA? It's the Venice area, the beach, Santa Monica. Like, that's where I'm going to be living. I don't really like downtown LA. I'm going to be living in Venice, and our office is in Santa Monica, so take a skateboard, have a run, bike to work. Oh, it's going to be a dream. Jacek, why do I think the political situation in Poland is so bad? Do I really have to answer that? I hope you didn't vote for peace, man. Like, I think it's a tragedy. It's scary, actually. Like, for business owners, it's really scary. We have an exit plan if they do anything to completely legally leave Poland, because it's unpredictable. I don't think they're that dumb, but I hate religious fanatics. I hate extremists, and I think it's ridiculous. Poland's taken massive strides backwards since we joined the EU in a very short time. But I don't want to talk about politics. I try not to read any news or watch any news about that because it's confusing. Do we use artificial intelligence in our products? It depends on what your definition of artificial intelligence is, but no, I would say no, we do not. What do I like in Poland, Adam? What do I like? I like, that there's so much opportunity here, that 30 years ago, we were still a communist state, and now there's still so much to build. So there's so many opportunities for entrepreneurs, and that's what's exciting here. And I think that's what should excite you if you're an entrepreneur. Being in Poland, there's so much you can do. It's like a playground, and it's pretty easy to run a business. It's not that difficult. So see you in LA, Dorota. Hey. Tomasz Babiec, hey, how you doing, buddy? How did I restructure the company before going to the US? And am I going to have a different CEO? Let me start with the second question. I've realized that I'm not really CEO material. I'm more of a product guy. I love building. I'm not a manager. I'm just not good at it, and I don't want to be good at it. I want to be kind of like just always building stuff. So I don't know. Someday maybe we'll have a different CEO. Maybe it'll be from the company. Who knows? But I don't feel the need to be at the forefront. necessarily. And the restructuring, well, we have 3 products. We have Zero Park Volume and our DSP. And so we've restructured into a matrix to make different departments go across all 3 products. But that's boring. I'm boring you guys now. Jakub, oh, thank you. Congrats for being the best dressed businessman in Poland. Yeah, that was a bit of a surprise. Like, I'm an entrepreneur. I usually wear a t-shirt and jeans. I like to dress nice when the occasion's right. But it was an honor. It was cool. What's my favorite watch? It's this one. AP, baby. Woo! Maybe I need I don't know, maybe I'll start collecting watches. Probably not. I don't like having too many things. I think that having too much money is never a problem. Wojciech, as the saying goes, more money, more problems. It's pretty true. Like, you'll get there and you'll see. Let's see. Why is Joe Rogan your idol? Man, the guy's 50-something. He looks like he's 35. He's a comedian. I love humor. I think humor is one of the most important, characteristics you can develop or have, because it just lets you get through the hardest moments and it lets you enjoy the best moments even more. And he's a comedian. He's a genius, I think. He's a fucking genius. And he's just a really smart dude that experiments with his body. He does these crazy diets. He goes hunting for his own food. He does hardcore exercise. Like, I want to be like that when I'm 50. He does MMA. He's an incredible MMA fighter. He's just an inspiration. How did I grow Codewise to such a big scale? Patrick, you know what? It was never my goal to make it the fastest growing company in Europe or whatever. I just didn't compare myself to others. I think that's a trap you can fall into in life, is comparing yourself privately and professionally. Professionally comparing your business to other businesses, because it's so easy to think they know something that I don't. So kind of just doing your own thing, not fixating on the competitors or other people. And that's how it was done. Like, we discovered our own tempo. We just don't know how to do things slow. Lecimy. That's my life motto. Have I ever had law or tax problems? Nope. We do everything by the book. Like, everything. No tax optimization, nothing. We pay millions of taxes in Poland. I don't mind it. As long as I don't see it. That's what I told my CFO. I'm like, I don't want to see the taxes, just pay him. I don't want to see it. It's a playground if you can afford toys. Yes and no, man. The world is still a playground even if you don't have money, because you can still do whatever the hell you want. But you choose oftentimes not to do things. That's the incredible thing. I think there's a misconception in life that people want things, but they're not willing to work to get those things or to achieve those things. Wanting is very different from willing. Everybody wants stuff, but very few people are willing to do the hard work that is required to get to where you want to go, really. Oh, man. How long have I been talking? It doesn't show the time. I don't know. Alright, let's see some more questions. I think I'm going to wrap this up. Oh my gosh, it's 10 o'clock. What do you think is the key to success and personality of a future entrepreneur? Simple. Don't be a talker, be a doer. There's so many wantrepreneurs. That's why I never go to startup conferences, because everybody there is just talking. I have this business and that business, and then I look and they haven't done anything. They have a website with no product, no service, no revenue. So just get your head down, work hard, and then let the success speak for itself. That's why nobody heard of me for 5 years, because I was just working. I didn't care if people knew about what I was working on. I was like, maybe someday they'll find out when things work out. And they did. And now I'm talking to you. At the beginning, did you have a life-work balance? Nope. I was working 7 days a week, oftentimes for 16 hours a day. It was a bad decision. I was burnt out. I didn't know it. You learn kind of your limits with time. So, no, I'm only in the past year have I really learned to balance work and life. It's a really important thing. Cezary, lecimy. What's my advice for young CEOs? Don't be afraid to be vulnerable, you know, like to be honest and to talk about, you know, sometimes the feelings that you feel that you need to keep to yourself, because people appreciate vulnerability. And I did that for too many years where I bottled up everything, all the stress and stuff. Share that sometimes with people, but not too much. But just be yourself, man. Don't try to be like a macho CEO. Just be respect all your people. That's the best thing you can do. How do you find an idea for something new in business? A new startup? You don't. Ideas are worth nothing. Nothing. Ideas are worthless. You know what we lack in the world? Is people that will execute and build stuff. I get messages every day about people with their idea. I'm like, what have you done? Like, if it's such a good idea, why aren't you building it? Why are you even writing me? So, you know, the misconception is that you need a great idea. You don't. You can have the best idea in the world and execute it poorly and it will fail. You can have the worst idea in the world, execute it perfectly, and it will succeed. You know, ideas change. As soon as you start building any idea, it will completely change. Within a few years, it won't even resemble the idea in the first place. So, just doing. Don't worry about the idea. Just think of anything that kind of gets you remotely excited and passionate and work on that. What age did I start my career? At 24. I quit my job. I had no idea what I was going to do, but quitting that job was the first step. And then I just, you know, I had so much time and I started finding things. I discovered internet marketing and I got into that. Krzysztof, thank you. Take it easy. Rishika, tell me something very smart to tell in an interview tomorrow to get the job. I think humor goes a long way, depending on who's interviewing you, but I don't know, there's no like secret that you can say to get a job, but just kind of be yourself. Don't be nervous. Like, those people detect nervousness, and that's one of the most off-putting things. If you have someone that's empathetic, they will calm you down and help you, but just kind of be confident, funny, and just get in there with a smile. Patrick, how to build a team when you can travel so often? Good question. You have to hire the best people. And it all starts with people, man. A company is nothing than a group of people. So you just hire the best, you trust them, you give them what they need, and then they respect it. And you can leave. And, you know, it took many, many years to get to the point. Like, people think I have it easy, but it took me like 4 or 5 years to build this, you know, environment where I could leave and feel comfortable leaving. So it's not that easy, but it's doable. Anastasia, sometimes, yes, I'll come back to for Christmas. I'm coming back to Poland, spend it with my family, but probably not too often, maybe 2 or 4 times a year. I'll see. How does it feel when you become a multi-millionaire, self-made man? It's interesting, you know, but it's interesting not because of the money. It's interesting because of where your mind gets to go. Where I was already talking about this earlier. Once you can afford everything in the world, you have to start kind of redefining everything that you've kind of learned from society and figuring out what it is that makes you happy and makes you get up in the morning. Because I don't need more money. Like, I don't need to be a billionaire to feel like I've achieved anything. Like, I think even if I made $1 billion, I'd feel the same. It's about, I don't know. It's a difficult thing to explain. The freedom's great, the security's nice, but you know what? I think I missed the days where I didn't have much, and I had this crazy hunger and fire to like achieve and prove something, and I kind of miss that. Like, you've done that now, and you're like, what now? Like, what's the next step? So you're in an exciting position to do that for yourself, depending on how hungry you are. Do I believe the Codewise Unicorns can get into Poland's top 5 with such an unknown roster? I do believe so. They're super talented. They're just missing the experience to kind of, you know, like when we played Virtus Pro, we played really well, but we lacked that experience. They had years of experience on us, and we'll get there. It's not going to be easy, or quick rather, but we will get there. Rob, when will I retire? Probably never. Probably never. I might just, do less work, but I'll never retire, man. I don't think an entrepreneur can. Cesare, this is incredible. Thank you, man. I'm enjoying. I'm sorry. I'm enjoying this. Yes, of course. And it's nice to hear that. The Chima Gryn team. Thank you for that. Oscar, I don't really have a favorite quote. Just like stuff like that Gary Vee says, like, just do shit, man. Like, it's so simple. Like, people think like life's really complicated, but it's just doing shit. Like, I used to be, you know what? I used to be such a lazy butthole. I used to be a loser. Like, really, I can say that. I didn't do much in life. I didn't have many ambitions. And then I was like, what the hell are you doing, man? Like, do you want to be like this bum who just goes through life comfortably, or do you want to get uncomfortable and try to lead an extraordinary life? And then I just kind of got into that, and that's like the Lechima lifestyle, is just non-stop doing cool shit. Like, oftentimes forcing yourself, but then you're usually like, yes, I'm really glad I made myself do that. You know, you can think of moments in your life where you're like, nah, I don't really feel like it. And then you do it, and then you're like, God damn, I'm so glad I did this. That's what life is. It's like pushing through that bit of uncomfort, and then you'll see that the best moments in life are the ones that typically have difficult decisions. Where will I spend New Year's Eve? I don't know. Probably LA. Somewhere warm I'd like to be. I would like to be somewhere warm. Mihao, how was my day? It was good, thank you. Very productive. A lot going on before my departure to LA. I like it. I like having a deadline. I have like 3 weeks to do a lot of stuff, and it's exciting. So really good, thank you. I mentioned about my business partner. Where is he right now? He quit. He got so stressed out at our peak growth. We were doing the best ever. And he came back from a month vacation in Japan, and he said, listen, Rob, my stress is proportional to our success. I'm out. I don't care about the money. And I was like, holy crap. That was at a point where I was thinking of quitting too. I was so stressed. I wasn't sleeping. I was like, damn it, I wanted to quit Codewise. And it was a really crazy, difficult time. And I was about to sell the company, about to get rid of it. And then I decided the last moment after I bought him out, I was like, let me try to prove to myself that I can run this show on my own. And I'm glad I did, because it worked out. Carolina, what makes you happy? Travel makes me happy. I love experiencing new things. I like meeting new people. Sometimes I like being alone because I'm an introvert. But I love seeing new places and just stimulating my mind and just breaking patterns and just, all that stuff. Bartosz, do I watch movies like Into the Wild? Yes, I love Into the Wild, man. Like, I had points in my life where I was like, I want to do that, leave everything and just go live in the forest, eat mushrooms, catch fish. I love being in nature. I love being, with limited amounts of technology and all that stuff. Alex, what's true? And my brother's here. Oh, it's true about unicorns. Yeah. Oscar, I appreciate it, man, but I can't be anyone's mentor. I'm trying to find a mentor for myself. Dave, pure motivation. Awesome. Thank you, man. Nice to hear. Oh, another backlog of questions. Rafael is asking, speaking of hunger, how do I fuel this fire? Dude, it's difficult, man. Like, it's there sometimes, it's not there. I think the key is figuring out how to function when that fire is not there, and like kind of forcing yourself, and it kind of reignites just like by pushing through. It's a struggle, man. They don't call it the struggle for nothing. Running a business is a constant struggle. There's highs and there's lows, but it's non-stop struggle. It's not supposed to be easy, because if it was, everybody would be doing it. KJ is asking, if I can have one billboard in my life, what would I write on it and where would I put the billboard? I'd probably put it where I already put my billboard, in Krakow, because it's the biggest billboard in Europe and it just looks amazing. I liked our last slogan, don't be a corporate slave. I think it's people wrote to me that they quit their jobs and it changed their lives. So I was like, wow, that's incredible. I would probably write on the billboard, what would I write? Okay, this is just maybe 2 sentences like, don't be afraid to be yourself, and don't let others tell you what to do, man, because I feel so many people live a life for others and not for themselves. Just find yourself before it's too late and just be yourself. Bobby, biggest fish I ever caught was a snapper with a spear gun in Hawaii. I can't wait to go back there to learn how to free dive better. My brother confirms that I was a lazy guy. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, I didn't see the comments sync up. Yeah, I was lazy. I learned from him. I learned from you. But then you launched your company, and you inspired me to launch my own. So thank you, Alex Gryn. If not of Alex Gryn, we would not have this live right now. Alright guys, I'm finishing up. I think I've been talking for an hour. This is, you kind of lose yourself in these lives. It was really fun. Thank you for the great questions. I hope maybe you took something away from this. Maybe I'll start doing this regularly. Maybe not. I don't want to promise anything, but we'll see. Have a good night. Ciao.